Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the JK and TB podcast.
Hello.
So, last week's episode, we didn't really touch on much about us. So we thought we'd do a little bit more into who we are and why we're doing it as well. So, what do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. First episode, 50 views. Pretty happy, pretty stoked.
Yeah, I'll take that. 50 views is all right. 25 were me, 5 were my missus, 10 were my mum. How many were you?
Look, not gonna lie, I might have made a few accounts. Jumped on, subscribed a little bit. Had to do my business.
Yeah, I think you were the first subscriber.
And the second and the third.
Take that.
And then another milestone, we got our first dislike.
Yes.
Cunt.
Yeah.
I know who you are. I know who you are.
We all know who you are. Yeah.
No point hiding it, mate.
No, not at all. All right. So, bit about us. So, I don't know. What are we going to? Aspirations and what our goal is, and
probably a bit about where we're from, I guess. Obviously, can't tell from the accent. Probably we're from Australia, Australian Sydney region, probably to say. Been here all my life. Same as Tyler, I'm 100% sure. I know, I'm second guessing myself now. I'm like, has he always been here? He's moved like 7 times in the past like 3 or 4 years or some shit like that.
I'm originally from Nigeria.
Oh, that explains your.
Yes. That.
Right.
Only that half. That's the only part that's Nigerian. The rest is, straight Australian, all from here.
Okay, right. Is that why when we like sleep in the same bed?
Yes. Yep.
That...
Yep.
You're 10 times more concerned now. I'll be honest. With the humping, I'm not part of that.
Oh, the thumping's the worst. Every time you get out of bed, it's just it's straight on the floor.
Okay. What am I doing? So at the moment, I'm studying at uni, doing work as well. I work at, I'll just say, an airline. And what about you?
So at the moment, I'm not studying. I'm a real estate agent, which, that explains it all. That they're not all cocksuckers.
Oh, I think you proved the opposite of that.
Most of them are cocksuckers. But I used to be a Sparky for a while. I was doing electrical. And then I jumped ship over to something a bit cleaner. Which was,
nice.
it was good decision. Sparky is, I got some good fucking stories from that. But
Which
shit
we'll be
else.
going into today.
Yes,
I
definitely.
would presume.
Yes.
Okay. So, I guess speaking about Sparkies, you want to go on about some of your stories that you've gone through?
Well, when I first... So it was a shock to everyone. I first became a Sparky, jumped into it. And our first job was housing commission, so government housing.
Yeah, a bit of backstory to him, though, as why it was a shock, was our big fella, TB over here, was our school captain. A bit of a representative for our school.
Just a bit. I was only the face of the school.
Yeah, and just went straight downhill into a Sparky position. No, it's not that bad.
No, I went straight downhill, fell out of the plane, and went fucking right to the bottom. I had to work my way up. But I went from, the top of the chain to the bottom of the bottom, straight to government housing. Now, that shit's fucked, man. That is honestly gross. And when I moved out and I got my place, I vowed to go, I will never, ever live anything like anyone in housing commission. So anything that reminds me something little, like even if I don't know, you see a cockroach or something outside, fucking grosses me out. And I go in, I clean everything because it's disgusting. The shit that I would see. So for example, right, this is probably one of the heavy stories I'll start off with. I wasn't there very long. I just started, went into a place that they called the Sparkies because the light in the bathroom wasn't working. So I should note, they should have called a plumber. Not to fix the light, The light was literally just replace a globe. But in the bathroom itself, they had stopped using the toilet. The toilet had, clogged. And so they filled up the bath with water.
That is...
And they weren't shitting or pissing in the toilet anymore. They were doing it in the bath. Now, their toilet was clogged for about 2 months. 2 to 3 months, something like that. Now, you can imagine they did not clean out the bath. They didn't drain it. They didn't, pick up their shit and put it in a bin. They left it. They fucking stomped the shit out of it and just left it in the bath. Mate, it was fucking disgusting. The smell was putrid.
We just got finished talking about mukbang, like before the stream, this podcast started. Oh, now I'm feeling sick again.
I didn't know what mukbang was. I didn't know it was just a bunch of guys smashing food. My life is mukbang.
Someone showed it to me in high school. I can't remember who it was. And I was like, why is this entertaining? You're just watching someone eat so much food. And then you add that ASMR aspect to it. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a bit gross. It's a bit grumpy.
I can't do it, man.
It is a bit gross.
Yeah.
But, the Sparky was fucked. I mean, we crawled under houses that had, used diapers just thrown under there. Yeah, like used nappies. Like just shit in a fucking undie that's been thrown under the house because there was no room in the bin left.
Some pretty strong conviction to like get under there and be like, fucking...
Oh, no. It was so overfilled. Like it was flowing out into the backyard, but they were just starting off throwing like bags full underneath the house.
Right.
And then it just started to spill over, and then they eventually got so, fed up of walking down the stairs and throwing it under the house rather than to the bin, they just threw it onto the backyard. And then when you got to fix, a power point that's in a bedroom and the house is on, what's it called? Like pylons, you have to crawl through the nappies to fucking get to it. So you got to crawl through literal shit to get to a power point.
And you're a Sparky, not even a plumber.
Yeah, what a fucking joke.
I like how this, because you're pretty squirmy in general when it comes to like bugs and germs and shit like that. I could just imagine you under there.
Oh,
every 10 seconds.
So for example, I had to, this was one time, this one wasn't as gross. It was just a giant spider, like a big fuck off spider. It wasn't a huntsman. I think it was like a black widow or something. I don't even think they're big, but for me, it was big at the time. And I was under a house, and I had to do a J-box connection. So I had to just connect 2 wires together. Take you not even a minute max. I was under there for about 15, 20 minutes. I ran to the van. I grabbed fly spray because every time where this J-box was literally right next to where this funnel had formed, where this spider was crawling in and out. Literally in and out. Every time I'd go near it, it would crawl out. They're like just to fucking fuck with me. And then my tradesman at the time was getting so pissed off with me. I ran to the van, grabbed the fly spray and used the entire can. Like this was a new bottle. Used the entire can on this fucking spider. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that'll teach you, bitch. So I kept doing it. Starting to do my work. And then it fucking was crawling out again. But it didn't go inside the hole because it had so much fly spray in there. It's staying out. And I was like, this is fucked, man. The tradesman literally came in, pushed me out of the way and said, fuck off and go out the front. So I didn't do anything. And he did it and did the whole job. And I was like, oh, look, I'm sorry, but there was a spider. I'm not going near that shit.
Absolutely pathetic. Nah, I probably would have freaked out as well.
Oh, it's just...
It's fucking big, though.
No, probably not. But it was big.
Oh, okay.
It was big for me. And then you get roofs and there's rats and mice in people's roofs. Like, come on, man. What do you expect me to do up there? We had this one guy actually, this real fatty. He I didn't like him. So, well, I didn't like him, so fuck him. And he barely could fit through the manhole in the roof. So he finally got in and he's crawling to get to the lights because at this next place I went to that I worked at, because I was only getting paid $50 a day at the Housing Commission one. Yeah. And then they ended up letting me go because they couldn't afford me. So, bruh, just tell me I'm shit. Don't tell me you can't afford me when you pay me $50 a day. I mean, that's fucked.
Jesus.
And then, so I went to this next place. It was just new builds.
Yeah.
And it was, if you're a first year, you got to get in the roof. But if there's a tradesman and then a fourth year and a third year on site, whoever's the lowest rank's got to get in the roof to poke out the lights. That was just the way it goes.
Right.
And so this one time, he was the lowest. I was a third year at the time, and he was a first year.
Yep.
He tried to climb up, and he couldn't get through the manhole, and we had to push him from his arse to push him into the roof, and and we've pushed him, and he's gone boom, into the manhole, and then gone boom straight out the other side, gone in the roof, and landed on the gyprock and come crashing out of the roof onto the floor. So we pushed him up, and he's gone boom straight out of the roof right onto the floor. Oh, for fuck's sake. It was so funny.
I like how you keep the hierarchy.
Oh.
He's obviously not going to fucking fit.
No.
I was like, she'll be alright. She'll be alright.
I bet, honestly, though, he was a big dude. And then, like, you'd sit down for lunch, and he'd have, like, his mum would have cooked him food. It was just heaps and heaps of it. And you're like, you can't even get in the roof. Like, stop eating this shit because it's a problem. I don't want to keep pushing you through the roof and then come out the roof again because you fell through. But it was funny. Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry.
The other story I remember that you told me about the paintings.
Ah, yes. Jeez. So that was the housing commission job again.
Yeah.
Now that we went to Redfern. So if all the people that don't know Redfern is a, how do you explain it? A shitbox, shithole. And we went to an apartment block. So there's two, let's call them the twin towers. There's two towers right next to each other that's just filled with apartments. Probably about maybe 30, 40 floors of apartments.
Jesus.
Yeah, big, massive. All of them were housing commissions, all government housing. And they were purely just for Indigenous. So just Aboriginal housing, that's all they were for. And they have the highest suicide rate in all of Australia. It might not be Australia, it's probably just New South Wales, but I say Australia. They have the most suicides there in total. So we apparently, I wasn't there for this part, but the tradesman that I went with, he was on site coming, like he parked and was starting to go towards the building to go in the elevator, and someone had jumped off on the other tower next to him, and they've gone, and he heard the bang, and he's like ran out there trying to see what it was, and then there's this dude smashed on the floor. Like it. Yeah, it's pretty gross. Anyway, that's not part of the story. We went. So we went up into this. So we had to do a few different apartments to, just replace them because people had left. So people got kicked out or died or whatever the fuck it was. It was probably the guy that jumped off, and we had to go in and replace the PowerPoint switches and lights. So we went in, needles everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And cockroaches were in every PowerPoint, every switch, every light you could think of. The smoke alarms were constantly beeping because cockroaches would crawl over where there's like a little copper bar in there. And if you make contact with it, it sets off the alarms. That's what the whole smoke alarm thing does. It senses it and then it touches with a magnet. The cockroach is walking over it and getting zapped, and so you'd hear the beep every time.
Right.
Now, this has got nothing to do with the paintings, but I'm just painting a picture on how fucked these areas were. So we went to one that was meant to be vacant for, I think, 6 or 7 months. They've been waiting for the job to get done because the project manager got pissed off at us because we were meant to be there a couple of months earlier to finish it off, and we never did. So that's why they couldn't actually put anyone in. But when we went in,
like 5 or 7 months, I'd say fuck that job.
Yeah.
Someone's alive in that place.
So we went in, and no one's meant to be here, right?
Yeah.
And there's a mattress on the floor. There's like bed sheets been ripped up. It's meant to be completely vacant. So someone had been squatting there, so living there, and they've pulled all their shit and where the fuck they came from. So naturally, we thought, fuck, someone's been squatting here. We're gonna go through their stuff. So they had like chest of drawers. They had brought everything. They brought They had a TV, like a little TV, a DVD player, and
Can't even respect their personal privacy, man. What are you doing?
oh well, I don't know, they left. So we thought, all right, we'll go through their stuff, and because the place was grubby ass, like the mattress was filled with shit stains and whatever the fuck was on it,
Right.
and we thought it was an orgy thing, like guys were going there and just having an orgy, because we went through the drawers and all there was pornographic DVDs, like all gay porn, just filled to the brim, like it was laid out, it was super neat, of just all these, gay porn.
Yeah.
And then we're like, fuck, if this is in this drawer, what else is around? So we kept looking, we moved like a tall boy out, and there's all these photo frames there. And we're like, what the fuck are these? So we pull these photo frames out, and it's just paintings, like just water-based paint, gay orgies of dudes fucking each other. It's dudes with massive black cocks, shove them in assholes. You see a gaping asshole, it's just people fucking each other. It was so weird, and there was so many of them.
I love the photos that I got sent. They were so very
graphic, eh?
They were very graphic. Like,
super. It's like
details and
coming out of people's mouths and like eyes going to the back of their head. Like it was fucked.
the shaft of some penises were immaculate.
Oh, bro, the dicks looked good. Like that's how much detail they're going into them. And then we just thought, okay, there's going to be some more shit here. So we kept looking. We found another drawer that had dildos in them. It had like chains. There was a whip. There was pretty certain it was anal beads. And so I grabbed. Well, it was like no. Nah, the place stunk as is, but there was it was like on a string, and it had like these little ball berries. I don't know if they're anal beads. I'm just gonna assume, just because of what we saw. But we found a giant fucking dildo, this red silicone dildo, and naturally I grabbed it with my pliers and flinged it at the tradesman. I was like, gotcha! I hit and threw it at him. Oh, he fucking hated it. And but then we kept going through, and we found another drawer that had pictures. Like he had gone and printed off pictures of it. I don't know what he looks like. I'm going to assume it's him because there was a lot of this one dude, scruffy looking dude, real long curly hair, and he had like a normal camera, and he's sitting in front of a mirror taking photos of him with no pants on but with a shirt on, and he's just got his cock dangling there. And there was heaps of photos like that, just scattered everywhere, and just random ones of like a bunch of guys having sex with each other. So that's why we thought it was like an orgy ring. It was just photos of dudes fucking each other. Like it was just bizarre. Absolutely.
Like profile pic is based on.
No, that's just a cock and balls.
Fair enough.
Well, my name's Harry. What is it? Black Dick and Balls. So that's my picture.
Big black hairy testicles, aka. I love it.
But yeah, man, shit like that happen all the time.
Do you miss those kind of stories?
I do. I definitely do. But now I get to deal with Indians every day, and they always give me a story, so I don't mind. I mean, the Housing Commission staff gave me the best ones, but I didn't like going through what I had to go through to get the story.
Right.
So it's like, how cool would it be to have Frodo's story and Frodo's legacy, but fuck going through what Frodo went through. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like your Lord of the Rings analogy.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one.
I was like, fuck, who's Frodo? Oh, fuck.
So,
That guy from Star Wars, isn't it?
yeah, he was the father of Luke Skywalker.
Right, I panicked for a second. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
can't sound like a fucking idiot now.
Yeah, anyway. But, yeah, that's just tip of the iceberg of Housing Commission.
I love it. It gives a bit of an insight.
Oh, there was another one. Sorry.
Go for it. No, go for it.
Went to this dude's house. Well, there's two stories, right? So went into this guy's house. Now had to change I think it was a smoke detector we're changing, and there was cats everywhere, and it stunk of cat piss and shit. And where this guy had the kitty litter was literally right under where our ladder was, so right where we had to work. And this big fat dude was like not even caring. He's just watching us as we're doing it. And whatever the fuck he was feeding his cat, it literally, where I was standing and my tradesman was above me on the ladder, the tradesman at the time, I got on really well with him. Him and I became good mates. and I'm standing on the ladder handing him tools and whatnot. This cat jumps in the kitty litter, faces like us, and we're talking not even a meter away, like real close, like almost touching us. And I like tried to push it a little bit with my feet, but the dude was watching. This cat sits there, doesn't like sit down, faces his ass up, and starts shitting, but it's not like a poo, it's fucking liquid, and it's like spraying diarrhea everywhere. And it's fucking going on the carpet. It's going near my boots. I'm going, oh, that's gross. my tradesman's going, oh, get the fuck out of here. And he's trying to kick it. He's trying to kick the cat. And the guy's like, don't kick me, cat. And he's like, it's fucking shitting on me, mate. And he's like, don't kick it. He's like, this is fucked. Actually, he also had a tradesman where we went to this job. And we had to... I don't know, change a switch. I can't remember. It was something real simple. And the guy there, he was real like irate, getting pissed off. He's like, you better fucking leave. You're not meant to be. And he's like, mate, I have to be here. It's my job. I've been told I've got to do it. And he like arcs up at him. When he gets up on the ladder, he like full goes at him. And like he grabs, I think it was a bat or a stick. And like he like tries to run at him. And my trader was like, cunt, if you fucking come near me, I'll grab my Gyprock saw and I'll shove it in your neck, you fucking cock. And he's like, the guy was like, and just stunned and stopped. And I was like, hey, mate, can we go? He's like, yeah, I'm fucking out of here. And we left and I was like, holy shit, you just threatened to stab some dude's neck. And he's like, I know, I was fucking scared.
I love it. Tradesmen are hard cunts.
Oh, some are, some aren't.
Yeah, some of them are fucking dero cunts.
Yeah. Well, that guy that I was with, he was like, I got on with all of them at the housing commission place. Like, we really got on well. But one of them, because I was brand new, I was shit. I was absolutely shit house.
Right.
And he'd just get frustrated because I was so slow. I didn't know what to fucking do. He'd tell me how to do something 100 times, and I still wouldn't know how to do it. But and every time I'd fuck up. This one time I literally said, mate, I'm not getting what I have to do. Can I just, you tell me and I'll write down on a piece of paper, and if I need to know what I've got to do, I'll just go back to the piece of paper. Yeah. And he was getting so frustrated with me because we're at this one job for like a week. Yeah. And then I got stuck at one part and I'm going to the paper and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I didn't know what to do, and he's like, he grabbed my piece of paper and threw it at me, and he goes, your fucking paper didn't work, go to the van. And I was like, oh shit, fucking hell. He used to fucking ram me one day.
Couldn't take notes at school, can't take notes at work. Absolute drop kick.
But anyway, the main story that I wanted to say, I was with an old guy, I can't remember his name now. For the sake of the story, Benson.
Okay, Benson.
That was my old dog's name. Anyway, we called him. His name's Benson.
Right.
Real old. He was probably in his 70s. Was getting paid cash. Wasn't on the books. Just there because he didn't like his wife. His wife was Vietnamese, and he didn't want to be home. He ate it up, but it was only there because she cooked him food.
Fair enough.
So we're at this job, and this massive fat dude was lying on the floor, and it was like when he breathed, he'd snore because he was that fat. He would just constantly snore when he was breathing, but he couldn't move. Yeah. And so, I'm changing the switch and replacing it, and the tradesman, because old dude, he was just sitting there and he was just handing me the tools, and he could hear the guy snoring. He goes, "Oh, this guy's asleep." I'm pretty sure he's awake, and the guy on the floor's like, "I'm awake." And the guy's and Benson's like, "Oh, sorry, mate. I thought you were napping," and then went back to work. I was like, "Oh, fuck me." Oh, that's so awkward. But that's how fat he was. That literally,
I couldn't stand someone breathing like that.
It wasn't breathing. It was constantly. It was literally just constant.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was filth.
I know someone that. You and I know someone that kind of breathes like that.
But it's not snoring, it's just loud breathing.
Yeah. Just don't sit next to him near a movie. Can't. How many times I wanted to deck him. Oh, pain in the ass.
Oh, it's funny. Anyway, you tell us about CEX.
Oh, okay. So, for those of you that don't know, CEX, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was founded in UK
What
or
is
possibly, yeah,
CEX?
UK. So I'll go into it. I'll go in like a bit of a background of it. So yeah, it was started in headquarters is in United Kingdom, and it had a lot of shops over there, and then it started to come down here to Australia. So what CEX is, it's basically it's like a second-hand store. It's kind of like, what can you relate it to? It's it's kind of like a normal electric shop, but obviously secondhand, right? So they sell movies, they sell games, they sell electrical devices like PlayStations, cameras, TVs, shit like that.
Mm.
And yeah, so I think I'm not exactly sure when they started coming to Australia, but they just started coming out of nowhere basically. So when did I start? I started in 2017, I'm gonna say. So I started working in Liverpool. So I don't know if anyone knows where Liverpool is, but it's
Gronkville.
Gronkville, yeah. Full of drop kicks, absolute Eshe cunt territory.
It's as bad as Punch Bowl sounds. Is what Liverpool's like.
Yeah. It's not that bad, but there's a lot of interesting characters.
Cooked cunts.
Yes, exactly. And actually, so to start off like my kind of career there, I only worked there for about 7 months because just I couldn't keep up with all the fucking characters there. Pain in the ass. Everyone was an absolute cunt. They expected so much, and I don't know, just couldn't deal with it. So I left and then started working for Coles. Coles is a different story. We can start talking about Coles later. So actually, on my first day, I don't know if I ever told you this, but on my first day, we got robbed.
What?
Yeah. So, my first task was to start stacking DVDs. So they gave me a stack of DVDs. You put stickers on them, like the price tag and whatnot, and you put them on a shelf. And so I was working with some chick. Let's call her. Oh, fuck, I don't know. Let's call her Michelle. All right. So Michelle was trying to sell a phone, and I wasn't really paying attention because my job was to basically stack shelves like a bitch. And then all of a sudden, I see the cunt run out. I was like, oh, fuck.
It's in a hurry.
Yeah, I was like, where's he going? Did he forget something or whatever? And I was like, oh, carry on, stack my DVDs, having a good old time. And then I got up, and Michelle looked a bit distraught. I was like, oh, you good? He's like, oh, that person just stole a phone. I was like, you mean the cunt that just ran past me? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, well, that's awkward. I could have just like fucking. If I knew that, I was like
Shoulder charged him.
Yeah.
DVD. Boom.
some form of a fight, but no, he just ran past me with a fucking phone. And
Why would
it
he
was
just
like
steal a
shitty-
phone?
I don't know. No, because she was showing him the phone.
He's legged it.
Yeah, he grabbed the phone and legged it. So it was like some shitty like Samsung 3 or Samsung 4 or some shit. I can't remember. I might have been remembering it wrong, but it was a phone. And straight after that, they implemented like a new policy kind of thing where you have to give us your driver's license. So if you do take off with the phone, we got your driver's license.
Yeah.
Right?
So did he get away?
Yeah, he fucking booked it. He was long gone.
They didn't call the police or anything?
I'm assuming we did, because I was a new guy, right? So they wouldn't have expected me to like get involved too much in it.
Yeah.
Like what am I gonna do? Just like I'm 1 hour into my shift, someone stole something. Now I have to do a report. Don't think that's gonna fly well.
This is the same place where your manager was pretty hot too, wasn't it? Is that what you're saying? You're pretty into your manager?
Look, not gonna lie, a little bit. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So, yeah. So after that, a lot of funny characters. A lot of there was this girl that came into work with us. Her name, what can we name her? We'll call her Jane, just because she's a bit of a weird character, in a sense that she was Hispanic. She was very small. She was like, what was she? She would have been like 5'4" or something like that.
Yeah.
But she had this really creepy vibe to her.
Like a crazy cat lady sort of vibe.
Kinda. That reminds me of the Meagle cat lady.
Yes, we'll talk about
But
that.
we can talk about that later. That's very interesting. Anyway, and straight from the get-go, she was very quiet, very timid. But she's one of those people, like, as soon as you start talking to her, then she starts coming out and starts, like, obviously getting a bit more comfortable. But she got comfortable super quickly. Like, super quickly. Like, she would... I remember one time we were working, and I was just stacking... No, sorry. I was just cleaning the glass or something, and she came up to me, and she goes... she asks if I'm a virgin
What?
for some reason.
Wait, so is this a
And
lady that's come in or someone that new started
this was
there?
someone that worked with us. She started working with us about 5 months after I came, I
Wow.
think. Yeah, and she asked if I was a virgin, and this was before, obviously. So this was when I was a virgin, and I go, oh no, still carrying on, still a person of God, man of God. And then
That's what she went with.
yeah,
I am a man of God.
I'm a man of God. And,
Yeah.
I was so caught off guard with that. Honestly,
I would have.
And then she looks at me. She's like, "Oh, okay, good." I was like, "Oh, the fuck's that good? Why is that good? What does that mean?"
What the fuck?
And then she goes, "So, do you?" Just a weird question. I was like, "Well, you already asked one. Go ahead." She goes, "Oh, are you a briefs or boxers guy?" I'm like,
What? Who is this bitch?
"Excuse me?" And she goes, "Oh, what do you wear? What do you prefer to wear?" I was like, "Look, I'm not going to lie to you. This is a bit forward of you."
Is that what you said
She
to
goes,
her?
"Yeah, I actually said that to her, right?" And because I didn't know what to say, I was fucking. What are you supposed to say to that?
Fuck knows.
And I was like, I honestly, it doesn't really matter, does it? And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she just walked off and started smiling, giggling. I was like, "Oh god." And then I fucked off, and then I went back to Michelle. Oh, fuck, Michelle, you're never gonna guess what just fucking happened. Get that girl away from me. And every time I'd get rostered for a shift, I'd tell her, please don't book me with this person. I'm gonna get stabbed. And me being an idiot, I was, because I don't like to judge too quickly.
I
So
do.
I'd still be nice. I know you do. So it'd still be nice, and like, I'd walk her home because she lived in Liverpool, right?
Oh, you're such a sweetheart.
I know.
You're walking
right?
home the lady that said, "Are you still a virgin? Good.
Yeah.
Boxers or briefs?"
Because
and you're like, "I don't want to be Rosso with her, but I'll walk her home."
look, because she.
How long was the walk?
She seemed to. Oh, it's not that long. About 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
She seemed super innocent. She was small, and plus, I didn't want her to walk around Liverpool by herself at 11 o'clock at night. That's fucked.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even I wouldn't do that, but I was a fucking idiot that'd go walk her.
And where would you go from there? Would you have to walk to this? Was she near the station?
No, not at all. It'd take me it'd take me about 20 minutes to walk back to get to the station.
Fuck, you're a nice guy.
I am such a nice guy to people that don't know me well, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as they start to know me, then it just goes downhill.
Right, straight downhill. As downhill as my career went.
Exactly. It becomes fucked.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then one of the times I walked her home, because she lives in one of those, what I guess you can kind of call it housing commission. You walk past, it's like, fuck, this place looks terror as.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure if it was, because it's a Liverpool, so I don't think there is, but it looked fucking run down, Darrow. And there's just a fucking dead cat in front of her house. That should have been my one warning. That should have just been my one warning. And she just walked in casually, like nothing happened. Like it wasn't there.
Oh, it's probably been there for days. Yuck.
Yeah, she's probably gonna cook it up. She's the Omegle person.
Yeah.
I figured it out. Fuck.
Just go ask her for the photos.
Jeez, yeah, she's a bit of a weird cunt. But, and what did I say? I said on her birthday once, I was being nice, and I went, "Oh, happy birthday," blah 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 blah. And then she wrote this she sent me like massive paragraph thanking me, and then the next day after, like, because we got rostered on, she asked if I wanted to go to her birthday party at her house. I've at this point, I think I've only known her for about 3 weeks.
How old is this lady?
She was younger than me, and I was. How old was I? I would have been. I'm 21, 18? 18 or 17? I think. No, 18, because 18. I would have been 18. So she was 16 or 17? I think she was 17. And she was asking me to go to her party, and I was fucking freaking out. I was like, I don't want to go to this chick's party. I've seen her house. I know what she does, like what she looks like. Sorry, I know what her house looks like. And I met her mum. I met her mum as well. That's a different story. It's so weird.
Was her mum fucked as well?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
And yeah, and then it was funny because I'll paint you the situation. I was at the register. Michelle was next to me, and then what did I call her? Jane or something?
Karen.
Karen. Okay, Karen's a crazy. We're changing names. Karen's a crazy chick. Right.
Yeah.
And
Michelle. You called her Michelle.
No, Michelle's my
boss.
Person I work with.
Yes.
Yeah, the boss.
Yeah.
And okay, and Karen's a crazy chick.
So, yeah, Karen's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, so Karen was crazy chick standing in front of the counter, and Michelle and I were standing behind the counter, and she's like, "Oh, Josh, do you want to come to my birthday party, kind of thing?" And I was like, "Oh," and like I bent down to like tie my shoes, like pretend to tie my shoes, and I looked up at Michelle. I was like, "Fucking help me, please, please!" Like, obviously, I didn't say it loud enough, but I gave her this look.
Yeah.
And thank God for her. She's fucking quick. She's like, "Oh, didn't you have to go home and like build something for your mother or something like that, or set something up?" I was like, and I got up. I was like, "Yes, yes, yes, that's it. That's what I have to do. I have to build that thing, that one thing at home." And she's like, "Oh, okay." She still sent me fucking Snapchats. I'm like, "Oh, jeez."
Yeah. Did she have a lot of people there?
From what I saw, it was a decent amount.
So, was she a good sort, or was she looked as crazy as she was?
She looked as crazy as she was. I don't know. Hold on. I've never showed you a photo. I'll show you a photo another time.
Alright, if we're talking like animals here, are we talking whale or are we talking?
No. She was thin as. She's probably the thinnest girl I've ever met. Right?
No.
She's super thin. Super skinny. Super. What's the word? Petite? I think petite's the word.
Well, that doesn't sound petite. That sounds fucking anorexic.
Yeah, she was tiny. She was a tiny girl. She was like half my height. I know I'm decently tall, but she's still half my height, right? And oh my god, she had the balls to ask me so many weird questions.
I mean, good on her for being out there.
Yeah, I know, right? And because everyone knew that she had a thing for me. She never told me directly though. She told Michelle that. She told 2 other of my colleagues that. And she obviously didn't hide it as well as she thought she did, I'm assuming. Did
you know that she liked you?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Even though you were walking her home?
Yeah. It was blatantly obvious she did. But like, she tried to hide it like as kind of like a coy thing. Through some of the mannerisms she'd use. And she'd be a bit... I don't know. She wouldn't talk to me unless I was walking past her. Like she wouldn't walk over to me, but then as soon as I walk past her, she'd like grab me and be like, "Hi, Josh, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
Jeez Louise.
But yeah, then I met her mother, which was another weird thing because I walked her to a certain distance, and then her mother was there, and then she knew my name. She somehow knew my fucking name.
Oh yeah, no, she's got like a shrine devoted to you in the house.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, is this Josh?" I'm like, "What? Who are you?" Like, "This is my mum." I was like, right. Hello.
What was the mum like?
Now, she was a fucking whale, I'll tell you that. No, she wasn't that bad. No, she was kind of like, I don't know, she looked very similar. And it was very off-putting how similar they looked. I was like, oh, God. But yeah, so many interesting characters, and...
Did you ever ask her if she was a virgin?
No, because I don't ask those kind of questions.
Oh, come on, mate.
I don't think I've ever asked anyone that question.
Ask me now. Let's get rid of your virginity of asking if people are virgins?
Look, but I already know the answer.
No, just ask.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, are you a virgin?
Nah, moment's gone. Move on.
Oh, okay, right. Also, there was a lot of dodgy shit that went on over there. It was
What do you mean?
so
Financially dodgy or?
no, nothing on our end. A lot of dodgy customs. So, what's a good example? So there was this one lady, and she would always somehow have about 7 to 10 copies of like brand new DVDs. So like the new Avengers movie or like the new Terminator movie.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And she would always bring them in, and they're like still in plastic wrap.
What?
Yeah, still in
Thief.
plastic wrap. And I was like, what the fuck? And we had this kind of regulation in a sense that if you brought in kind of like all these like new DVDs and it looked a bit suspicious, we told specific customers that they had to bring in a receipt, right?
Yeah.
But at the beginning, we weren't really very effective at trying to explain what the receipt needed. So people literally, so this lady specifically should come in with like a handwritten note that said, say, Avengers times 7.
What?
$50 spent or whatever. And then for some reason we'd be like, oh yeah, beautiful, that seems legit. All right, just take those bumps off your hand. And then after, I've only dealt with her twice, and the first time I was like, I was told what to do, so I was like, okay, I'll do the transaction, whatever. The second time, another manager came up to me and he goes, you gotta tell her to get a proper receipt. It can't be a handwritten receipt. And like as I was about to do the transaction, I was like, oh okay, so miss, do you have a receipt? She's like, oh no worries, love, I got the paper receipt right here. She gave it to me. I was like, oh beautiful, but do you have like an actual printed receipt?
Like a till receipt, yeah.
Yeah, I know, something you can get from like Big W, something like that. She looked at me. She just like stared at me. She was like staring into my soul, like I just crossed her. And she's like, oh, well I didn't know I need one of those. I was like, oh yeah, it's a new policy that we just implemented. Yeah, so if you have one of those, we can just get through this transaction. She's like, oh, okay. She grabs the DB. She's like, oh, I'll be back. Never seen her again.
Really?
Never seen her again. I don't know what she was doing in the background, what kind of dodgy shit she was doing, but obviously she fucking stole. She either stole it or something, or I don't know.
Was she like a chubby old lady?
She wasn't even old. She was like 30 or something. She was like this. Think of the most typical Karen lady you can think of.
Okay. Just thinking, how would she be able to steal that many copies?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, where the fuck? What else? I've had hentai tried to be sold to me. That was a very.
So it's basically a pawn shop.
But we don't carry porn though. We don't buy porn.
No, a pawn shop is in.
Porn.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I did just. I timed it. I timed it at the worst time with fucking hentai.
I was like, porn. I was like, I don't think we have any porn movies. I could be wrong. Yeah. Kind of. But you can't pawn stuff with us. So it's kind of like a pawn shop, but without the pawning aspect of it.
It's just purely item. It's like a cash for gold, but it's cash for item.
Yeah. So you can buy. It's a buy-sell shop, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. And
to get good coin for what you sell there. So like those DVDs that Karen lady was taking, was she getting good money for it for 7 brand new copies?
Say, you'd probably get off the top of my head like 40% of what we sell it for. 40 or 50%. I don't know. It seems like it just depends on like the actual movie, right? So some movies we sell for like 50 cents. So obviously you'd get jack shit for that. You'd get like 5 or 10 cents. You'd probably get like 10 cents or something like that. Like then we sell movies for like $30, right? You'd get like $12 or $11 roughly, something like that.
And so would you guys buy everything and anything, or
in terms of like movies?
Yeah.
There was kind of like regulations on them. So what you'd do is you'd get the movie and you'd scan it into a system, right? I don't want to reveal too much into like how the fucking back end works, but then you'd scan it and it'd be like, all right, we have this movie, this is how it sells for, blah blah blah. Sometimes the movie won't come out into like we don't have it in our database, so then you have to send off a picture and be like, all right, this is the movie, this is the quality, and you send it off to a technical, not a technical team, but like a sales team,
Yeah.
and they're like, all right, give them this much to this much, and blah blah blah, and then they'll add it to the database. And then sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, no, let's not take that. Like a lot of the times, foreign movies we didn't really take them in unless they're like, for some reason we took in a lot of fighting Asian movies, I guess. Uh, I think the Chinese fighting movies are pretty big here. I know I used to watch a shit ton of them.
I remember I watched one where it was a soccer game and you'd kick the ball and people's heads would explode.
What? Oh, is it like Iron Head or some shit like that?
No
Iron
idea. I couldn't tell you.
Leg?
All I know is it was all in slow motion and they go, oh, and then some cunt's head would explode.
I loved it. If it's the movie I'm thinking of, I absolutely love that movie. I'm gonna watch it again. Yeah, just a lot of weird shit though. We took a lot of anime stuff, but yeah, hentai was a new thing.
Did you get a lot of people actually buy stuff?
Yeah, we got a shit ton, especially around like obviously seasonal events like Christmas.
What was your? Do you know what the turnover was?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head because it's been a while since I worked there. It's been like
You didn't.
3 years.
They didn't count the till or something.
No, they did. I didn't know because I was never like up to that level, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So someone else would count the till.
Was there a lot of cash, like cash deals?
Most of it was card. So most of it, people would take store credit because lots of people like to buy from our shop, right? And because we had a lot of our customers were like older customers that wanted to like just chill and buy movies, like older movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or had kids because we had a pretty decently sized kids section, and so you would see a lot of people in the kids section or people in like.
That's interesting. I feel like they would struggle now with DVDs and stuff.
Yeah, there are times where it's super quiet. But at the same time, we sell video games as well, and that's kind of what brings in a lot of like the younger people.
Yeah.
People in general.
Is video games a big section? Because do they get like brand new games and stuff as well? It's purely just what people are selling.
We get brand new games, but like legal. I don't know if it's legally, but like we say it's secondhand, even if it's kind of like we take it out of the wrapping. We kind of have to say it's like secondhand because we're a secondhand shop, right? We don't advertise stuff as brand new. Like I'll still tell customers like this basically came in today, still shrink wrapped, and it's basically brand new, but I have to tell you it's secondhand, right? Because we are a secondhand shop.
What?
Yeah.
So in other words, you buy an $80 game and what, you're selling it for $50?
No, we still sell it at like $80, right?
Why the fuck would I go to there? You guys telling me it's secondhand, but basically brand new, and I can go buy it actually brand new at fucking EB Games.
Sometimes we do price our things cheaper. Like I remember one time somebody, there was smart cunt, but obviously fucking hated him. Super annoying. This Kmart, they had it was smart on his behalf. They had I can't remember. It was like Star Fox on 3DS or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were having it on sale for like half price, right?
Oh, and he'd buy it and then go sell it to you guys.
Yeah, and they'd sell it straight to us, and then they'd make like $20 profit on each fucking copy. So at one point we had like 30 or 40 copies of just Star Fox for like Wii U or 3DS, and I was like, fuck that. But then sometimes some of our new-ish, I wouldn't say brand new games, but like new-ish, like I remember when like the BioShock collection came out, we were much cheaper than EB Games or whatever.
Yeah. So how does that work though? So like if I was to buy a game half price at Kmart, say I bought COD for $50 when it's meant to be 100, I take it to you guys. I have to show you the receipt that I bought it for $50. Why would
no. You don't have to show us the receipt
unless it's something that you feel is a bit sketchy?
Yeah. So we had a lot of repeat customers, and they'll sell us a lot of, like that lady, she'd sell us a bulk of like brand new shit, right? And you'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, where'd you get this from? And why are you selling it to us all of a sudden? But like, usually, I don't that's a rare occasion, right? Usually I don't ask for receipts because you don't have to. Like, who goes, oh, this is the receipt I bought for a game in fucking America. Can you? Obviously, that's a bit of an overstatement, but still,
Yeah.
you kind of get the point, right?
Yeah. Did that guy that was buying from Kmart come to you guys with a receipt? Did he have to show a receipt because he was showing brand new games?
I don't know. I never dealt with him. I remember just coming into the shift the next day, and we just had like this fucking stack load of Star Fox on our cabinet tables. I was like, oh shit, why? Why do we have this much? And they're like, oh, just check the Kmart page. I was like, oh, right, beautiful, it's great. So people knew how to take advantage of the system. It seemed it was a good job. I loved it, and the people there, besides fucking Karen,
Was Karen there for a long time?
She was there when I left, but then she didn't stay much longer after that. I think she stayed for like a month or two. I have to double check with that.
Did you keep in contact with the people that work there?
Yes, sometimes some of them I play League with before. After I took my decently long break, but now I'm coming back into it. And some of them I do Snapchat, but like not, especially not Karen. But sometimes it's a bit weird though. Sometimes I check up on her because I'm like, oh, how's she doing? Is she still alive? And
you still message the girl that you know likes you.
No, I don't message her. I just go on her Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Is this chick all right? And she has the funniest profile pictures. Fuck, it's hilarious. I got to show you them sometime. I don't know. Because in her bio, she's a quote unquote model, right?
Right.
And she has I didn't know this, but models have like a personal bio, like a website. Not a website, but like they have like a bio on a website, right? And it's like, I don't know, what's the page called? It's like some model thing. And you can like read all their details and stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck? And I clicked through it and it's just like, aspiring model, have been an extra in so-and-so movie. I was like, holy shit.
I used to be a movie actor.
Oh yeah? What for?
Extras.
Oh yeah? What in?
I got told to come in for an interview on a show.
Oh, wait, I think I remember this.
And I messaged them and said, where do you want me to meet? And they never replied.
Weren't you in a scene where like they were having like a lunch? Am I thinking of the right person?
Nope, not at all. I was never ever filmed, only in one movie, and that was a girl from our school, Pepperoni Nipples, and
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. Pepperoni.
Were you there for that? Oh no, I think it was just me, Rainer, and Joss. Fuck, it was funny. We got in so much trouble because we kept cracking up laughing at a scene where it was meant to be serious, and we just kept laughing and we're trying to. Then we're painting, pretending to paint. We'll throw paint on each other.
That's what I remember hearing about.
So I came late and I had to sit at the front of the class on my own. So embarrassing. And like everyone's like pretending to do this fake laugh thing. And I'm like, I'm not doing a fake laugh. So when the camera goes red, you just see everyone laughing. I'm just staring straight blank faced.
I'm gonna try and find it.
I don't think you can. I have no idea what it's called. And all I remember is I watched it once and Tiana would never give it to me. I mean, Thomas.
He had one job.
Timothy Jensen. It could be anyone. It could be anyone. Oh fuck. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. A lot of editing for this one, I guess.
Huh?
A lot of editing for this one, I guess.
Nah. Put it straight up.
Okay. Yeah, so it was my time at fucking CX. A little weird. The customers were really weird, but they were super fucking grand. Like, there's so many good customers over there. Like, there was a deaf guy, and he was super nice, and he would always teach me a bit of sign language.
How? What did he say? This is how you do this?
No, like he'd point at me, and then he would write.
He's probably calling you a fuckwit, and you're just replying.
He'd point at me, and then like he would like not sign, but he could like kind of like. It was obvious that he wanted me to write something down, so I grabbed the piece of paper and pen, and like I'd write, "Hi, what's up?" Blah, 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 and I'll give him the pen, and he's like, he'll tell me what he wants and blah 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 blah, and then he'll show me some sign language as well, which was super nice. And then there was always this middle-aged, like not middle-aged, like probably 30, 40 lady who would always come to me, and she's like, "Oh, let's go shopping for my kid." I was like, "Oh, okay, righto." And like she would come around and be like, "Oh, what do you think about this movie?" Like, "Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it." Like, "Oh, what do you think about this movie? Absolutely dog shit. I wouldn't buy that for you fucking kid. Don't be a fucking idiot." But no, so many lovely people, but you get so many weird characters at the same time. I kind of miss it, but kind of don't. But sometimes you'd get yelled at, and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I was just having a fucking fit." I was like, "Oh yeah, right."
Who'd you get yelled at by? Customers?
Yeah, you'd get yelled
That's
at.
the
By
most
customers every so often.
best bit. I once
Yeah, but
got.
you can't say anything back though. That's the thing. You have to hold it in.
I never said anything. I had a customer of mine when I was in real estate have a go at me.
Right.
It was the first house I ever sold.
Yeah.
I went to this place and I told one of the other agents, I was like, "Mate, come with me because I think this guy is going to start yelling at me." Fair enough. The whole family started yelling at me. Like,
Right.
there was about 8 people there and they all abusing the shit out of me.
Right.
And I'm standing in a corner while they're all yelling at me saying, "You told us this had happened. You told us that had happened." Mind you, I did tell them everything they need to know. And because there was 4 decision makers, one of them was communicating with me and agreed to everything that was done. So I did everything he told me to do. Went to the house. No one else liked what had been agreed upon. So they all start yelling at me, thinking that I'm the one that's done it. The guy that I was like talking to, he's now turned on me, telling me that all of this was not meant to happen. And I'm like, I'm just looking at him like, "You told me to do all this." He goes, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." And they're all yelling at me, and I was like, "Look, sorry. I mean, you've bought it now. I mean, there's not much I can do. You can pull out if you like, but you'll lose $80,000. They're like, "What? We can't pull out, can we?" I said, "Sorry. That's not my problem." I was like, "Anyway, I got to go to another appointment." And then I left. I was like, "Fuck me, man. I mean, you told me to do all that and I did it for you."
Yeah.
Gronks.
They try to put it on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were Indian. Nothing against Indians. It was just them were the worst. They sucked. Those specific Indians. Most of my problems have been with Indians, actually, in this job, which is quite interesting. They always try and ask me to pay in cash because stamp duty is exempt up to $650 for a first-time buyer.
Really?
Yeah, and they buy a house for $720 and go, "Hey, brother." Oh, that's Jamaican.
Your accent.
That was a Jamaican accent. "Hey, brother, come over here." No, they'd be like, they'd say, "Can we pay $650 in money and then $70K in cash?" And I'd be like, "That is so dodgy and illegal. No, I can't do that." "Oh, why not? Yeah. Come on, help me out. I help you, you help me." I'm like, nah, no, I can't. I'll lose my license. I can't do that. "Oh, come on, mate. Happens all the time. Way more often than you think.
Spot on impression.
Yeah, I thought so.
Do you reckon they're all coercing together?
They all hate each other. Indians hate other Indians because they try and rip each other off. The amount of people that I've dealt with have said, "I don't want to," because we have an Indian real estate agent where I am, and they've said, "I don't want to deal with him because he's Indian. He'll try and rip me off." Right. You're just like, if you know that he's going to rip you off, yet you're trying to rip me off. They're funny.
Failure,
yeah. Oh, also, we've been going for 58 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We haven't tell the stories.
Yeah, I know. You blabbed on for a bit.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like work life.
Pretty much. That's the work life out of the way.
I think we covered most of it anyway.
Oh, look, what I do want to ask, if anyone, I should have said this at the start because everyone's probably gone by now, but anyone who's lasted this long or at least watching it that we don't know, comment down below something. I don't even care if it's F or FU or go fuck yourself, whatever it is. Just comment something so we know someone's listening.
Yeah.
Either way, we're still going to be posting these videos, but I just want to know someone's listening.
You want to feel loved.
Pretty much. But
Fair enough.
next week we'll probably. We didn't finish off those stories. Anyway, we'll go into something a bit different next week. This week's just been a little bit about us, and what we do now and what we've done in the past. So now we can start.
I think next week should be a little bit of a spooky one next week.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll mention that in the next podcast.
Okay.
Well,
Righto.
all right. Well, thank you all for listening.
Hope it's a bit of an improvement because we have some slight visuals.
Yeah, you got something to at least look at.
Giant penis is one of them.
We will upgrade it in the future, but at this point, it's just this.
Yeah, righto.
All right. Well,
Alrighty.
see ya.
Ciao, ciao. I love you all.